Well, one thing you have to understand is Bob Marley is still, it's probably more popular now than it was when he was alive. So his teachings are still here, even through people of my generation and the generation under me.
You shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot no deputy.
Now it's modern time. You have different people grow up every day. And if everybody was going to sing like Bob Marley, reggae music wouldn't be the same thing it would be today.
Do you heard about this girl? Her name is Maxine. Her beauty's like a bunch of roses. And if I ever tell you about Maxine, you ought to say I don't know what I know.
Bob Marley type of reggae was like the foundation kind of reggae. Our type of reggae is a new type of reggae. It's not really anything different. It's just a new type of reggae now.
But generations change and people voice their opinions in different ways. So you have people like Supercat, Shaba, Bojo, Ninja Man, Tiger, and a whole host of other people who are the new voices for this era, and who knows what comes tomorrow.
I'm going to lay down and make you feel limited, because feeling that is my favorite habit. And when me lay down, you know me not run from it. Them call me miss all over, but they call me miss all over. Miss all over, but they call me miss all over. They call me miss all over, but they call me miss all over.
I would say excitement about reggae in New York began in the mid to late 80s. And that's really the birth of contemporary reggae dancehall in this area.
The hip-hop thing come in, it started like when I do the first Columbia album. The first Randy MC album, King of Rap. They started do a title track called Roots Rock Reggae with me, and then African Bambata, you know, and so on. So the whole thing start with me and Randy MC and African Bambata.
Well, rapping and hip-hop and talking, DJing, I see the whole of them as the same thing. Because Sly and Robbie fused the hip-hop music with the reggae and the ska. Because the ska is the basic thing of Jamaican music.
As a rocker on the mic to revolutionize, I rock a funky beat, I keep the rhymes organized. Any party show, I'll terrorize. Don't look so astounded, there's no surprise. Like my
Sly and Robbie, the first one I know for a fact who did an album with KRS-One using Queen Latifah and other various rap artists with a reggae song. That album was Silent Assassin. And then after that, everyone has to start doing it. But I know we were the first to really get into it deep.
When the Jamaicans started to come into the south of America, of the U.S., you know, to pick cotton or apples or whatever, from down south, they picked up a lot of the music, brought it back home. It was very, you know, it was accepted by the Jamaicans, and so they started to play, you know, Fats Domino and, you know, all this other stuff.
As close to the water as you wish, you may live comfortably, modestly. Jamaicans are happy to serve.
The Jamaican music came about out of the spirit that we needed identity and respect other than the calypso and mento. So it was Jamaican music which had a tinge of blues and rhythm and blues and a bit of Latin. And this is what I grew up listening to. And then how it became ska is out of all of these forms that existed, that we were listening to.
The lion says, I am king, and I reign.
From the reggae, so it used to be a music almost like a half blues. We used to play before the ska start, you know. Even people like Joe Higgs, cha-na-na, cha-na-na-na-na, cha-na-na, cha-na-na-na, you know that music? Right. We used to play that plenty. So from there now it developed to people start ching, 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 ching for ska, you know. And then for rocksteady it's like jing, jing, jing. For reggae now it's check, 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 you know. So you have 3 different feels.
The word ska came from my directing the guitars to keep that offbeat. So like I'm in the studio and say, keep the ska going, man, keep the ska going. So everybody laugh because like for the first they heard that term, but not being really musical, I use that term.
The first pop success that a Jamaican artist achieved, I don't know of one before Millie, with My Boy Lollipop, which sold 7 million copies internationally. As a Jamaican artist, that was big things, you know, and it was an important turning point in Jamaican music. It was very encouraging.
And the tempo of it was very up-tempo and fast because it was at the time when Jamaica was getting its so-called independence. And so everybody was in that upbeat mood.
Reggae is like the heart and soul of Jamaica. So through that transition of like the 70s and the late 60s or the 70s, when Bob Marley was, you know, discovering new grounds and people were discovering Bob Marley. Now we're in the 90s and there's an incredible amount of influence as far as like, especially with the dancehall, because rap and dancehall are one and the same, only there's a language barrier sometimes.
Yeah, get off the tip if you're not legitimate. We were chatting reggae back in 86. Boogie Down Productions get the party cranking. DJ KRS now with the Shabba ranking.
The same DJ thing, but these young people's style is different from mine, you know. But it's the same thing, even if some people would say it's rap like what the Americans doing. To me, it's the same DJ thing, it's just a different style, you know.
Old and Jaja, yeah. EUA was running a popular sound system, yeah, and he employed 2 disc jockeys, which undergo the name of Josie Wales and Charlie Chaplin. From there, following the footsteps of Josie Wales, every dance or every concert I was there, trying to get the hits and bits of what dancehall was really about.
Come now, sit up. She are the woman, he are the man. She's like a patient in the doctor's man. This is your doctor. Don't tell me what she want to love. Maxi Priest and Shabba. A man who can understand. A man who is a loving. We have the remedy for the heart, we have the remedy for the brain. Have the agony for the body for make you tune like a chain. Remedy for the heart, we have the remedy for the. We have the agony for the body for make you tune like a. What's it?
Well, regarding this early sound system days, there were quite a few sounds around, like Tom the Great Sebastian, Duke Reed, Lord Cruz, Count Nick. Then I came in after.
And I always want to have some bad man to be the DJ, because they need bullies. Some people love bullies, they love badness, you know, I love boost up. So we have this Duke Reed, and he had a sound system, and the one that can get the best tune, the people will follow. So they go firing all over America and England, and go to buy a record that the sound system don't have to bring the crowd to them at night. Duke Reed is playing tonight, and everybody want to hear what Duke Reed have. Coxson's playing tonight, everybody want to hear what Coxson have. Just
someone dance gonna full and someone dance gonna empty. You never know who's, you know. And Duke used to be a man who loved his sound system. He's serious when it comes to all the sound. But he was a man who would go to the street and he would give all the people out the street some money to pay coming to his dance. You know? Yeah. So I tell you, it's like, there'll always be a rivalry with no sound system, but it'll never be a portion of violence. Not like that, you know, no violence. It's just that, hey, this man want the crown, and this man want the title, so you do the thing to keep it, I get it. You know?
Well, we used to move around with the sound from Kingston, Mobile, in the rural area. In the early days, we used to play at places that the electricity wasn't there, so we used to use generators and stuff like that.
Like, you'd have 9 sound into a dance hall. Each one would play for maybe like half an hour or like 45 minutes, you know? The better sound, that play the better music, that the crowd love, that would be the number 1 sound. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, when you're performing in Jamaica, people, there's like a lot of excitement, you know? A whole lot of excitement, you know? People just going wild, you know? And we got like, they were like firecrackers, like boxes of firecrackers, and lighting it for the favorite artists, like, you know, the vibe sweet, you know? And in New York, it's basically the same thing, you know? But they can't really be lighting firecracker, because you light a firecracker, everybody goes home, you know, because, you know, when people shoot in New York, they don't shoot for fun. Somebody getting killed, so, and in Europe is like, you know, they're getting into it, you know, they're moving, but they're getting into it, they're learning, you know.
But the early sound days was really the best days. Then we gradually moved up after the supply of rhythm and blues dried up. It went to the rock and roll, which didn't go over too strong in Jamaica. So this is where I decided to start trying some of our own recording. You understand? But we started recording with a dance feel in mind. So this is why you had that pounding rhythm, strong rhythm going.
A song we were just playing, and first maybe you would introduce the singer that won't play the song, and a dance, you read out your invitation, we're going to play the next week or 2 weeks time, and a song we're playing, and you would have something to say like, wow, she's got the stuff, you know? And you said that within the time when I have the rhythm and the vocals, so it's like, you know, it was just something like that, you know? Right now, this thing just becomes so big, it's all over the place, you know?
And then, having played over the records, the next natural thing was to play over the, you know, to go and record in the studio, because they realized that the crowd, you know, people really loved it. And the difference to this time, for me, is that those musicians were highly trained. They knew jazz, they knew a lot of the different, you know, musical forms. So I think that's the reason why the creativity at that time was so intense, and why even up to today, the industry would almost rather do over those materials rather than, you know, create your material.
None of mercy. Somebody gone or dead. Don't give me no argument. This is not no meeting or no conference. None of mercy. I'm a hospital. I'm not accept patient.
All those back chat, that's what they're doing now. Because maybe they're getting tired of the you know, boop, you know, so they start using the old rhythms, like the studio one, Cox's style, you know.
I use all type of rhythms. I love the old rhythm. That's the old rhythm now. Remind me when I was a youth. Like I said, you ride them and big you them now. One time you see them on certain studio ride with them. Them give me the vibe, so it's when we hear them again now. Them give me another vibe, so.
It's happening a lot now. It never used to happen that much before. People used to just do maybe rhythm like 2 or 3 times and that's it. But now, you have a whole album with the same rhythm. Right now, you know.
It is said that it all originated here and became rap in America. I don't know, it probably is so. But I think it developed here with a whole sense of competitiveness. From the era of Dad and Duke Reed, they had sound systems and they were competing against each other. It moved to the era of you know, having so many different versions of one record for one sound system, have what the other didn't have. And it moved to another level where they had different, you know, artists coming to, you know, badmouth the other down in a whole competitive spirit.
One of the pioneers of rap is a person by the name of Kool Herc, who is a Jamaican, who brought this here. And you know, I've never really sat down and dealt with Kool Herc on this matter, but he's like the godfather of rap, you know, from the Bronx, but he was, you know, he's from Jamaica.
And he came up here and was playing all kind of music. And, you know, like with the early DJs and stuff, back Big Youth and them guys, and by them guys playing them type of records, I think definitely influenced kids starting to grab the mic and start rapping, you know what I'm saying? With the Zulu Nation days and, you know, Cold Crush Brothers and all them original rappers, you know what I'm saying?
When we link in the 6 months and Glocka, work a Illman not take back chatter.
Super Cat is even more of a product of this way that the dancehall has come in, because he basically was living here, you know, between here and Jamaica, had got into the underground here with the hip hoppers like Heavy D, all of them were into him.
In my hood as a youngster, the hipster was never a punkster. No sir, no ma'am, hot damn. Me and Michael Jackson jammed, I done soul train, not American bandstand. The bigger nigga is back and I'm on the right track. As a matter of fact, come on.
And it's the same thing, like in rap, we took music from that was old, you know, even when we started, and in the parks, we used to rhyme off it back and forth. Same thing in a party. DJs would go up and they would take a record that was already made, put it on the B side, the dub side, you know, and just DJ off it. Same thing, the two turntables, the echo chamber, everything is the same exact thing.
Tell me y'all, who's the man? Who's the man?
We come in Jamaica, we come here from Africa, we come down here in a slavery. And now we create them a wealth and develop them a land, we are the backbone of the country.
Well, right now in Jamaica, you get the youth, you know, all you hear them talking about is Africa. That's all they're talking about, because, you know, the entertainers of today in the dance style, you know, they're really learning more, you know, and educating each one teach one. That's what we're doing right now. So, you know, they're getting to know, you know, what they're supposed to know, you know.
People put a label on reggae music, especially for gun violence and slackness and all, you know. But it's not only reggae music alone. You have some other kind of music with some other kind of people do around the world that is very out of order.
Most of them come from the ghetto, right? And they see things that happen, so they express it on the record. You know, sometimes they don't mean it, but to other people, you know, they can take it personal. You know, like they talk the gangster stuff, you know, like Big Mac 10, you know, like Bounty Killer and, you know, Ninja Man and Beanie Man, you know. Then that is their style, you know.
If you and your friend say, don't talk in Spanish, and I go out there and Chief Waters the next to talk Spanish, I can't believe it. I have to follow Chief Waters. Because if the whole world I go so, and me alone I go so, I don't know where I go.
Too much gun talk, and that a foolishness. Talk something conscious as to preach badness. Too much gun talk, and that a foolishness. Talk something conscious as to preach badness. There is a trend going around that a women notice. Most of the youth them nowadays they pick up a bad habit. The way them talk about gun is like a hit them worship. Every day them get up a so gun lyrics.
When me find one, me say what a bam bam. When me find one, me say what?
No, what I sing about is for all the fellas, at the same time for the ladies, because I'm saying things that ladies wanted to say but they didn't get to say it. So I'm trying to defend them to the highest point that I can. I'm being in the male dominant field. I'm trying to show the fellas that are in the business, the reggae business, that whatever they do, a woman can come and do it.
Yeah, I get a fair deal because it's just the way, as a woman, just the way you present yourself, the way you carry yourself to let, you know, people respect you, you know. have to move militant for other people to respect you. If you don't move, you know, decent and all them stuff, they won't really, you know, respect you.
I bring sex in the dance. So I mean, which is what here they call slackness. But I don't call it slackness, you know, because everybody make love, you know. So that means everybody is slack.
I don't agree with the lyrics that they're talking about women, downgrading women. You have a lot of things that you can talk about women and uplift them.
There's love to you, what I'm saying. In fact, this doesn't offend no females out there. I love my mama too much to disrespect a lady. I be just saying what girls want to hear me say, so I ain't gonna stop until they say stop.
We have a chill a load of girl down. We need a customer visa to help clear them up. Chill a load of girl down. We need a customer visa to help clear them up.
I mean, I respect nobody, man. I don't respect no lesbian. I mean, I apologize to no batty boy. Come here, Rasta. Lord of mercy. Imagine, look how the woman them big and fat. And you want to put your thing in a man bad. Back up and
I don't know what's getting to these young DJs because they intend to you know, like what you would call it, like tease people, you understand? And in my time, if we don't like a person, we don't talk about the person. You understand?
I myself agree towards changes. I believe in changes. But believe in changes and try to maintain that constructiveness within the changes. You know? Change for better, but not for worse.
But then again, you know, you can't even blame these youths for some of what they're doing because that's what the public buying, you know. So and moreover, it's a way of them for making some money because quickest thing to find to make some money, they're gonna make some money off it. And I even agree with that more than if they would pick up a gun and go and stick somebody up and or shoot somebody and take their money, you know. So I respect it, you know.
But between the day you're born and when you die, never seem to hear even you cry. So as sure as the sun will shine, I'm gonna get my share. What's mine?
The original story of the Harder They Come was based upon the first outlaw in Jamaica, who I used to know about in school as Reggae. The word Reggae means somebody who's bad, real bad, you know. Reggae means hot. So him say, you see that guy there? Don't trouble him because him Reggae. So, you know.
Well, the oppressors are trying to keep me down, making me feel like a clown.
He had run-ins with the law, the police. He actually killed police. And there was this aura around him, like he had some mystic powers, because he knew when police were coming and he was able to disappear and that kind of thing.
What's mine? I'm a loot, I'm a shoot, I'm a weird. I shan't go. Root by the propagation. I shan't go. Root by a bomb up the town. I shan't go.
There is a spirit of revolution in the Jamaican people, historically. So not only due to Reggae, but that still exists today. And that is why a lot of the music is a music of resistance, resisting against the system.
Dark brown shade of my skin, only add color to my tears.
Well, you know, reggae is not about slackness, you know. Reggae is a music about like teaching stuff to people, educating people, let them know stuff that's locked up in the closet, you know. Educate the youngsters, you know, so when they grow up, they can be firm and know how to deal with the system, you know.
One thing, while my dreams never came true. Somebody tell me what cannot do. Something is holding me back. Is it because I'm black?
If many of us today was like looking back on the philosophy of Marcus Garvey and many more great men who were there doing some constructive thing, today people would be different. Today you wouldn't have so many misunderstandings, you wouldn't have so many environments, you wouldn't have so many crimes, yeah, you wouldn't have so many outrageous things, you wouldn't have so many desperate people.
Marcus Garvey has been a prominent messiah, teaching us how to live upright, being just, being fair with each other, see the power of unity, and that's where the strength lies.
What happened was when the music became reggae, we started looking deeper for the root of our culture, looking to the motherland, Africa. The music became more one of spirituality, with the Rasta movement and everything. That's when the Rasta movement came into the music.
You see, first, the people should know that Rasta is a concept and Rasta is a religion. And for instance, we wasn't dealing with music, you will always have that Rasta concept and that Rasta religion.
It stems right the way back to David, to Jesus Christ, and we'll be all day trying to explain it, but basically it's Orthodox Christianity. And through that I learned of the black history, the black culture, which roots and culture is your culture, your roots is where you're coming from. So, you know, every religion, every nation, every creed and colour has their own roots and culture, which if it's all found out, it all goes back to the same things.
So for today, when one speak of Rasta, many young people thinking that Rasta is a style, or Rasta is a fashion, you know, or Rasta is a commercial thing, or Rasta is a material thing. No, Rasta is not none of those things.
So Rastafari is like the main base of our culture and our music. Right? It still remains, you know, part of it.
One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright.
I really took to them. You know, I took to them this attitude that they had, and it could be conceived, I guess, to be very aggressive or very negative, but I didn't really see it as that. I saw them, you know, they were like real sort of rebels. You know, they were prepared they were ready to work, but they wanted to do everything pretty much on their own terms. You know,
we were all in the same neighborhood. It was myself and Bob's idea, because we kind of grew up together, you know, from as early as 9 years of age. And we were singing, you know, as individuals, and we talked about, you know, getting a group together, you know. Some times passed and suggestion came up again, you know, and again, so we decided, all right, we're going to form ourselves into a group. So we start looking for other talents. That was where Peter came in, you know. Peter was always in the areas playing the guitar, singing and all that.
the group was formed about 1961, late 1961. We did the first recording about sometime middle 1962, could be early, you know, which was, the first song was Simmer Down, which was a hit.
And they went up by Coxon, and Coxon give them instrument and they start. Coxon used to look after them.
Well, they were, you know, vibrant, you know, young, vibrant. And what I was really looking for in those days is that teen sound, an early teen sound. That's the youth used to go with. But Bob was definitely brilliant. I spotted him the very first day he came in here singing, you know. Or at least the delivery of his, you know, lines and stuff like that.
Bob was a highly evolved spirit that came to this planet. When I first met Bob, I had started my career, and he came in I was playing the piano, and he just came in from the back and said, "That sound good enough." And I looked around and saw this little guy came in, and I was amazed that somebody could come into a room in a split second and thought what I was playing sounded good, because I knew it sounded good. So it had to be somebody really sensitive to know what was going on.
You concrete jungle, man, you got to do your best.
Well, I'm going to tell you now, Bob Marley started singing as Robert Marley. When Derek Morgan and Prince Buster had this contest, they had a farewell show, and this youth come and they put him on the show to sing, and the people them clap him off the stage, boo him, in other words, come on. And Derek Morgan, as the king of ska those days and the man of the moment, come and say, give this youth a chance. And they listen to Derek and Bob sing a tune in Judge Not, right? And he tear down the whole place.
We never try to be a part of the politics of the country. We are a part of the people, the voice of the people.
This is where it's all happening tonight. Rafare Stadium in the Black African township of Harare, where in 2 hours' time, midnight in Rhodesia, this country gains its legal independence and becomes Zimbabwe.
You're right, you're right, you're right, you're right.
It was all the time that he had, was all given to his works, his music, his people, and what he really stood for, what he was fighting for. And we're happy today that we have seen the cause coming to something like victorious.
Another song of freedom is all I ever have. Redemption songs, redemption songs.
Bob music never gets old. It is like the generation now is even turning on to just buying his records. This is why he is still number one.
I am the one in test, and I'm the one to live. I am the one in test, even though I don't exist. Nobody knows me, but I'm always there. Statistic, a reminder of a world that doesn't care.
In 77, middle of 77, 78, I would imagine, there was a situation that punk music was beginning to appear.
Daddy was a fight bravo, but he never hurt nobody. He just loved to live that way. He loved to steal your money.
A lot of DJs, people like Don Letts, who were DJs in the clubs at that time, didn't have enough punk records to fill out the nights. So he would play like reggae tracks, and it became a lot of the people at that time were listening to the two forms of music, which gave reggae bands a stage to perform on, i.e. places like Rock Against Racism.
This Caribbean-style procession was by far the largest anti-fascist demonstration seen in London since the war. The march stretched for well over 5 miles and
It was in April 1981, down in the ghetto of Brixton, that the Babylon them caused such a friction, that it bring about a great insurrection, and it spread all over the nation. It was truly an historical occasion. It was event of the year, and I wish I had been there when we run riot all over Brixton.
Rock Against Racism basically was organised for youth to have a platform to fight against any racism, and I don't mean just the black and white. I think it was a wider scale, and it allowed people who had something to say to have a platform to speak out against whatever they were feeling strongly about.
Them a tell me about the vanquish and the victory. Them said the Babylon them went too far. So what we had was the bun too car. And 1 and 2 innocent get mar. But what? No saw it for some time in a war in star. No saw it for some time in a war.
Influence on contemporary music for the last 20 years now has been the reggae, not so much reggae but dub, and it's the dub influence brought about by reggae, you know, through reggae's evolution, right, from the Barrett Brothers to Sly and Robert.
It's really EUA bringing the name, and him don't even realize he brought in the name. One time you have about 20 versions of Slim Smith's tune, Too Proud to Beg. But the rhythm was so good, we make a lot of different versions. So when it comes to I say one time, another version again. They start call the music version.
Wait the town and tell the people about the musical days coming your way.
We tell Toby that he want to see me, you know. So I go see Duke Reed and we talk about some business, and I do 2 songs from him. Wait Town and Tell the People and This Station Rule the Nation version. At the time when that happened, believe me, if someone had ever tell me that, hey, this thing you're gonna make some money that you can buy something, good, like even a shirt, I would say, well, that's a joke.
And we was fooling about one time with the experimenting with the machine, and we come up with the dub sound now. That you have pure drum and bass, and then you can have pure drum and etc. You know, first it come like madness, but it will go out there and the people like it, because drum and bass are dub. You don't have no special way to do it. It's just a vibe, you know. So you would have to say, Roddy, bring in the version, and Toby innovate the dub thing with me and him and Lee Perry.
Scott is a genius, man. Genius. He was very great at that. He would do it while the track was going down, because he had, like, I think it was 2 track. And when he's recording, put it through a biphase, and he would mix it up while the track was going down.
I got the guitar now, right? I got the snare.
Well, you had, I mean, I think you've got different types of producers. Lee, Scratch Perry, King Tubby's, you know, Scientist was like engineer and producer. The dubby producers. Then you had Duke Reed, Derek Harriott was another great producer of good singers. And let's not forget, obviously, Cox and Dodd.
Well, he's a godfather of everything. He's like the Motown of Jamaican music.
Well, my advantage in the record business is because I've been dealing with sound from a youth, you know. I attend a lot of orchestra dances all over the city here. Plus dealing with the sound system from 52, 53, playing other records. So when we started, we actually have an idea of what record to sound. Basically in here, you know, we had the piano place there has its in that same position, piano. And the organ would be just like there.
I'm in a dancing mood. I'm in a dancing mood.
This is one of the bass, that's all that bass song you've been talking about. This is what provided that sound, right?
grand piano have been so good over the years. Well, after changing the mics around, the position of the mics, and like the drum is really important. And after we captured the sound that we was really looking for, then all the instruments would be like that for years, in the same location. Well, we had regular audition on Sundays. So on Sundays there would be like 200-300 So we try to get through quickly because we know what we were looking for, and like what didn't sound right, we'd say come back another month or whatever it is.
Tired of taking the blame, might as well play the game.
Well, I started out with Studio One, Sir Cox and the Great, yeah. This was back in 1963. Not that I'm old either, but I started when I was 7 years old. And been sticking in there ever since, really. I spent most of my years at Studio One, which became like a university for me, really, because all the great entertainers were there. From Bob Marley to you name one, from Jackie Mittoo to the greatest musicians. So it was really like a university at the time.
I thought you'd drop me a line just to say hello, my dear, I'm doing fine.
No, I wouldn't think he's a very strict producer. Sadat is more an assuming person, I have great ideas too, and dances around and try to build a vibe inside the studio. It was a situation where everybody was eager to be there from 9 o'clock every day, because all the greats were there, and musically everyone was in such a high spirit and high vibe, and everyone had so much to offer into the studio.
Well, baby, action speak louder than words.
Studio One was it. Cox and Dodd Studio, the whole sound of it was, when I was growing up anyway, it was it to me.
Only you alone can quench this thirst.
Lovers Rock is predominantly an English interpretation of reggae. I think is probably the best way to describe it. It's a lot more sort of smoother and, as the title implies, Lovers Rock. One of my favourite artists from the Lovers Rock scene is actually Karen Wheeler, who was involved with Brown Sugar back in the days, alongside a lot of other stuff, but it's predominantly British reggae music is where that term came from. What we actually done is that we used both sides of the musical balance, so to speak. One half was soul to soul, and the other half was more reggae, which was more kind of Lovers Rock orientated, more what we call two-step kind of vibe. And that's how we kind of got Soul to Soul together.
And now I've got to know much more.
I mean, Massive Attack worked with people like Horace Andy, and they released material with Horace Andy. And Horace obviously sang a lot of stuff from the old Studio One days. And I think probably the vibe with Massive Attack is probably more hip-hop reggae orientated.
So what I think happened in Jamaica, beginning with Studio One, is that when Chris Blackwell with Island Records started to trade the Studio One records in England, and it took off, the relationships between both Chris and Mr. Dodd and the artists were not sufficient to transfer the business, for it to grow. So what happened is there was a break.
When I came to Kingston, I heard about Chris Blackwell. I heard the name. And his approach was seemed to be more on a more quality level. And plus we heard that he paid better.
Money in my pocket, but I just can't get no love.
The artists went to war with Mr. Dodd because they said he had been robbing him, because they can't understand how for years they've been working for him for peanuts, and all of a sudden this gentleman comes from England and says they're worth, you know, 30,000, because they didn't understand the dynamics of that he was actually making just that little bit from his localized situation.
When we started recording, we wasn't aware that it was saleable and would be accepted worldwide as it is now. So after recording for about 2 years, by popular demand, we realized that the music was saleable. Then I went into my first couple of releases with easy snapping and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, as you know, I started out in 1967 for myself. What I was with Troop Reed and Cox and Prince Buster. And I start doing my own thing now, and from that I kind of revolutionized the business. Starting putting musician name who play, start giving musician credit and see that they were well paid.
Record producers and artists. Thinking of a master plan. First time there wasn't any like paperwork, not like now. It was mostly like word of mouth. And in those days, pounds was heavy. So if you get a man 10 or 15 pounds for the like 2 or 3 songs, it's a lot that. And you know, they would feel happy getting that money. The producer would feel happy or not happy, whatever way you might feel with the song. So when the song come out and it sell, no agreement was made, like say if it sell over X amount with it cost in studio time and money paid out to the individual, that they would collect a percentage after. So that was that. Even coming up to in the 70s, even now you have people still do it.
It's not the artist alone that has the job to really make this music work or continue to work. It's who's behind the artist too at the same time. So this is why people like a Tough Gang Records still continue. We have Mango Records in Jamaica, and we have big labels who still has great interest in reggae artists today.
You know, so it's going through the same steps that rap went through. And that, you know, they take time to learn the business, and the more people that come along and you know, like, and you see how they run the business, and they're getting educated and they're taking charge of their own. So they learn too from what has already been set, you know, from other rappers and people who have, you know, set up their own production companies. So yeah, I think there's a bigger and better opportunity over in the States for them, because they can make more money and control more of the business that they have.
Quite distinct from the earlier market that was developed with Bob Marley and Peter Tosh and those guys. So it's a very, you know, interesting time, time where it's possible, because of how rap music has entered the industry and changed the industry's notions of promotions and marketing, it is more acceptable, you know, to promote reggae now than it was before.
Rock wine, sing, ding-a-ling-a-ling, sing, and silent swing, sing. DJ is stuck up in the beer bone rhythm, sing, ding-a-ling-a-ling, sing, whole bell a ring, sing.
So now, at that point in time, I guess it was Shabba Ranks, right, who was getting really, really big on the underground, and was signed by Epic Records. And then it was realized that this, you know, was a very profitable music to really invest in.
The companies, they should learn to like understand what the artist is saying. Just don't take the product and say, okay, you know, it sounds cool, and you know, still spend time to listen and understand so they can know what direction they're heading, you know. They know more what they want to do. But if they just sell music out like that, don't even know about the music, you know.
What I think is you get involved with different people and younger kids coming up, there's going to be different things happening, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like new blood, you know, and then boom, you just take it from there. Let's try to keep it fresh or whatever you're doing, you know?
The DJs, they've had a field day,
I think it will turn back around to the artists, as you know, basically vocalists, right? Because the thing with the DJs it is much easier to launch a DJ career than a singer. They more originate from, you know, sound system and, you know, lots of hype, and they are more, you know, known than an artist who has to find a great song, and a DJ only has to have a style to really work, you know, lyrics or etc. Everything else to come after.
Taking advantage of the underprivileged charger, too long living in bondage. Advantage of the situation, I work, you get the promotion. Advantage of the underprivileged charger, too long living in a bondage. Advantage of the situation, I work, you get the promotion.
Yeah, it's turning drastically, I would think. There's suddenly this new surge, new feel. But that also is expected, coming from them and watching the different changes. You'd expect that. There's a lot of young talent now coming through, singers, and there are really some rough singers. And I think for the next 2 years, we're going to find a new generation of singers that come through and really serious about it, love it, and really go for it.
I would say they're still waiting on a Bob Marley world tour. I would say that, if you know what I mean.
Yes, definitely. We're going to come right back to like Bob Marley. Yeah, more cultural things and things to elevate people.
The roots is still there. They still love it, you know.
I think we're going to come right back to Bob Marley.
All the police warriors and traitors be still, but you live. I don't want to wait in vain for your love. I don't want to wait in vain for your love. I don't want to wait in vain for your love. From the very first time I placed my eyes on you, girl, my heart says follow through. But I know now that I'm way down on your line. But the waiting feel is fine.